Let's talk about hair extensions today. I have tried my fair share of hair extensions. I did the itip hair extensions. I don't know about you, but they were a trip. Let me tell you all about it. I started off because I had absolutely no hair. I did the last video where I put in clip-in hair extensions, and that was great. That was maybe my fourth time putting on hair extensions, and it looked good. However, the back is just another story.
Today. Oh my God, what is that?
Sometimes it's a hit, sometimes it's a miss. And I wanted to try some itip hair extensions. I went into U Hair Studio in Tijuana because it was the best studio I could find at the cheapest price for 300 grams of hair. I do have a lot of hair, and even though it's short, I have a lot of hair. So I wanted to make it look as natural as possible. They suggested 300 grams, so I went ahead and got 300 grams. And I'm glad I did because I think I needed a little bit more. If I was gonna do it all over again, maybe 400, but that might make my head hurt now that I'm thinking about it. I loved how it turned out. They ended up curling my hair as well, and I absolutely loved it. Loved it. I felt like me again. It did take me about 3 hours to get them done and installed into my head. They're just grabbing a piece of hair and putting like this bead over it with the fake hair and then squishing it together so that it stays. It didn't hurt installing it. I was just waiting for I think 3 hours for them to be done, and I didn't mind it. I was just on my phone and my computer the whole entire time watching shows, so I didn't really mind it. It was until that night that I was like, what the hell did I get myself into? Because it hurts. I wish I could just say, oh, it was a breeze. I loved it start to finish. No, it hurts. Like the first, I want to say 2 to 3 nights, it feels uncomfortable to sleep. It feels like you're tugging at your hair, and it could give you like a little migraine. I had a little headache after getting my hair done, like installed. And that night, just laying on my bed, laying on the beads that were all installed hurt. So it was uncomfortable for, I want to say, a few nights. After that, it was just normal. Like your hair feels like normal. The beads slowly started falling out. I want to say that the first one that fell out was a month after getting my hair done, and slowly they started coming out. I want to say after 2 months is when it starts looking cray. Between 6 and 8 weeks is when you should get them like reinstalled. So they take them all out and then they put them higher. I did do something that I am telling you guys so you guys can avoid because I went to the studio in Tijuana, it wasn't next door. So I really wanted to get them like moved up before my birthday. So I ended up looking for salons. A lot of them were charging me so much. So I ended up going to the dentist, and the assistant told me that she got her itips done off of OfferUp. And I was curious. I'm always looking for a beauty deal. So I will experiment, and if it doesn't work out, then never again. But I decided that I was going to try this out. I was like, okay, I'm going to try this OfferUp, and I went looking. That wasn't the best idea. And this is how I learned. Because I found this girl on OfferUp, and she was charging me, I want to say like $200 to move the 300 grams up around there. And it was a drive. It was a drive to get to her. Coming from like Glendale to, I don't know, probably Fontana. It was really far. And she was charging me $200. So I said, okay, I'm going to give it a shot. I ended up going. It was her house, and she was running late I was like, okay, I drove all this way. I'm going to get my hair done. She had like a cute little studio in her house. So I'm like, okay. Her kids were like yelling outside, but I was like, okay, I'm fine. I'm committed to getting my hair done. So I got there and she was looking at it. She's like, wow, I didn't realize 300 grams was this much. And I'm like, girl, what do you mean you didn't realize? Um, and I had the rest of my hair that was already had already fallen out that I kept. And she was taking them all out and struggling. She was then saying that they were probably keratin tips, which I don't know the difference, if I'm being honest. I really don't. Maybe like the way that it's bonded to the hair. I don't know. But they're like, oh, these are like K tips, not I tips. And I'm like, well, that's not what I asked when I went to the other salon. Regardless of the fact, she took it out and had me help her reinstall them because it was taking her legit. I was there almost 6 hours getting them taken out and reinstalled. It was, oh, and she had asked me to take her to the store because her little loop broke and she didn't have an extra one. So she asked to borrow my car. I was like, of course not. I don't even know this girl. And wanted me to take her to the nearest beauty supply so she could get that loop to finish my hair. I didn't really want to. I was already so over it by then. But I'm like, I have half my hair out and half installed. Like, there's no way I'm just going to let it be. I should have, honestly. I should have just taken it out myself and gone to your hair studio. But you live and you learn. And hopefully you're learning from my mistakes. So I ended up taking her to the beauty supply store and she got her little loop. We went back, finished the hair. She was putting in the beads and I guess one of her children came in, threw all the beads on the ground. So they were all on the floor. I'm like, girl. So of course, I'm not going to make a big deal out of it. I was helping her out. I literally was even helping her. I didn't know how to do it. I was telling her, I'm like, I don't know how to do this, but she still was like, I'll teach you so you can help me. I'm like, okay. So I was gluing the tip together and kind of like aplastándolo, like squishing it together so that I could fit in the bead. I regret that whole entire trip. Never again. At the end of it, she didn't offer a discount, but yeah, I ended up paying her and left. After, I want to say a few days, my hair already started to fall out. So the beads weren't installed properly. But actually a lot faster than the hair before was falling out. It was falling out in chunks quickly. I ended up keeping the hair in for maybe 2.5 months. And then I just took it out myself. I realized after that OfferUp trip that I could do it myself. And I took the beads out myself and just let my hair breathe. I will say I didn't see a lot of damage to my hair. When I was taking the beads out, I didn't see a lot of fallout. Of course, your hair is going to naturally shed. So I did have a few hairs here and there come out with the beads, but not a lot. So that is definitely a plus. And it also helps like kill time in a way because I had such short hair. It was like a pixie cut. So as you can see in the last video, I was going through the regrowth process and that pixie cut was taking, it felt like an eternity to grow. So I was just desperate to look like myself again, or at least feel like myself again. So I went to go get the iTips and it helped speed time, or it helped make me feel like time was going by a lot faster and I was letting my hair grow. It was definitely a lot longer than when I went in for the iTips because I didn't even realize that short hair could get iTips, but you can. My hair was so short. I want to say like this long and they were able to get iTips in there. Another pro with iTips is that like, your hair looks good all the time. That's what I loved about my iTips. Yes, I love clip-ins because it does the job. However, I'm a lazy beauty girl. I want to look good in the simplest, easiest way. So I will do high maintenance things to be low maintenance. So if it means getting the eye tip so that I have my hair looking good the minute I wake up, then I will do that. And it was easy for me because styling short hair was very challenging for me. I've never had a pixie cut or short hair before, so I didn't know how to style it. Another pro about the I-tip extensions is that I was able to do everything like as if it was my own head of hair. You don't treat the I-tips or the extensions any different than your hair. So when I would wash my hair, I'd wash the extensions like normal. I was able to blow dry my hair. I was able to style my hair with a curling iron, training iron, whatever. The maintenance was really easy. Just treat it like your own head of hair. And I want to say the only con about I-tip extensions is that the first week, I want to say the first few days after getting them installed, it is a trip getting used to the beads in your hair. You just constantly feel like there's stuff in your hair. And for me, I love sleep. The first night I just could not sleep and it was a struggle. So I want to say if you're willing to put up with maybe a few days of uncomfortability while sleeping, then totally worth it. I will say the pros do outweigh the cons. And as you can see, I've already taken them out. So I wanted to give you a full review of my after thoughts of getting I-tip extensions. Besides that, it was pretty easy, and I would say go to a reputable salon. Go to someone who knows how to do it. I-tips are definitely the way to go, as far as I know. So if you like this video, don't forget to like and subscribe, and I will see you in my next video. Sometimes I don't make the best choices, but that's okay.